Alright, so Bronxie and I are working on verbal downs and down stays.
Down.
So you'll hear me pretty much only say down as far as commands go in this whole
Down.
video. Even her sit, I'm cueing that with upward
Down.
leash pressure. So this is why I introduce all of my obedience commands with leash pressure. Because if I asked her to sit with her command every single time before teaching her to down, she's gonna start thinking that sit means to down. So that's why you'll see me do a lot of leash handling. So I'm really kind of helping her be where she needs to be physically, and a lot of luring, where she's following the food in my hand just to get her in the right position. And I'm using downward leash pressure to cue that down to help encourage her to move downward. That's also why I'm feeding her close to the floor. It's not heavy pressure or anything at all. It's just nagging pressure to remind her to go into that down. And I'm not using e-collar in this session at all. She just has it on to have it on. Here we're starting some stays, some duration. We get pretty far with our stays in this, but my real goal was the command, so we mostly worked on that. And for the most part, you know, once she got it, I kind of let her have the session, win it, and then go take a rest. And we're going to do the same thing again here in a couple minutes or so. She's resting right now while I'm making this. But she had a little mistake there. That's totally fine. You can see me nagging her back down. I'm making sure her elbows are on the floor when I'm coming back to feed her. That's probably going to be something we have to watch out for. We know she's very excitable. She definitely anticipates coming back and getting that reward from me. So over time, she may start trying to hover, which is where the elbows are like an inch or two above the ground. The dog is like barely, maybe in a down, but they're just anticipating getting up. So I'm going to be really cautious when I'm feeding her, making sure she's nice and calm. I want that down to be pretty solid and not super fidgety, because you know she likes to be a little bit fidgety, and that's totally fine when we're not doing our obedience commands. And it is super cold out today, so that's why we are in the kitchen working. I don't want to be out there, so I know for sure she doesn't want to be out there. So we're just working in here, and again, we're just working on mainly building that command of what down is, and then what you'll probably see for a little bit in the videos and stuff. After we teach down, the dogs sometimes like to try to auto down, or they'll just do it a lot. That's just a side effect of practicing it. It will go away over time. So you might see that in the videos. She may be trying to, instead of going to that auto sit when we're walking, she may attempt to auto down. It's different for every dog, but it is typical for what happens. But yeah, so she's doing super great. This is her second day with me. She did great yesterday. We kept pretty easy yesterday. We just did some heel practice around the block. And some refresher stuff on like recalls and sit stays and manners and things like that. And then probably either this afternoon or tomorrow morning, we're gonna do her nail trim. I didn't want her to like come into instant nail trim time. So I wanted to give her like a day or two to just chill out with me before I started doing it. So you'll get a video of her nail trim, hopefully. Sometimes I can't get the videos if the dogs are a little too wiggly.
Yes, good job.
But I do try to record those.
Good girl. Yeah. Good job. All done.